Do any of y'all ever wonder why the Preachers of LA ever came out? You ever wonder? Any curiosity? Oh, just reality TV. No, that's not the reason. Everything has a reason. You just don't see it instantaneously. You don't see it till it's later on seen. The reality TV show, LA Preachers, the reason why it came out is to look more attractive, to make church be more appealing to young men to become preachers. Why? Because once you become a preacher, or what you call a superior or supreme ministry, once you join this clique or this club, you know, the same one Willie Long belongs to, the same one Creflo Dollar belongs to, and it don't matter whether they're white or black, they all belong to the same council. They belong to the same council. Because believe it or not, people, you think things are raising Christian values? This country is not ran by Christians. I'm not going to give you an answer to the test. This country is not ran by Christians, contrary to what you will believe. So the whole purpose of the reality TV show, LA Preachers, was to make it look more attractive to young men in the ages of 17 to 21 who are inspiring to what college degree that they want to get, how do they want to spend their time, and to ensure that they make more money. But this is the thing, I got some partners that listen to Creflo Dollar. Do y'all see how he lives? And people say, well, because he works for God, he's supposed to live prosperous. Yeah, but isn't he the leader of the flock? Isn't he in charge of, he's the shepherd, the sheep. This is a man that has locations in VTC everywhere. So that even if you ain't in Atlanta, you can get his message. You can see him on the internet. This brother, and along with a lot of these male and female white preachers, have billions and millions of dollars. Because another form of insanity, believe it or not, is religion. Religion is insane, and I'm going to tell you why religion is insane. Belief systems are not that big of a deal. There's a difference between belief and religion. You believe that you're human, therefore you will act human. You believe that you're a father and a good man or a good husband, therefore you will carry these things out. But if you believe that you can go to a church and take your action and energy, which is called money, and put it in a tray, and you're going to get blessed by the Almighty, the all-powerful, geometric conservative design. That's kind of crazy. I'm going to tell you how God works with his financial system. And I'm very confident about this. God works like this. If you have a talent or a skill, say you know how to cook, say you know how to sew, say you know how to organize and help and get people in the community together to develop a plan to keep our neighborhoods safe, to keep our neighborhoods clean, to ensure that whatever's going wrong in our place or in our neighborhoods, we can get things done that will help us along to stay successful. See what God does, people who have talent like that, he empowers them with privilege. All my life for the past 15, 20 years, things have fell in my lap. And when I mean things have fell in my lap, power and privilege have fell in my lap. Because I go the extra mile to help people. I don't pay no money. I don't take no cash and do this and do that. What I do is I help children. I help young males. I help men that are my age. I help women that are my age. I'm trying to do this so I can get a message out to people. However you think the message is delivered. If I can spark something in your mind that causes you to think a little bit more in-depthly about what's going on today, I've done my job. So what this allows me to do is to get power and privilege. Do I do it because I know I'm going to receive power and privilege? No. But I know there's one thing that's been happening. The more I help people, the more some unknown source of power helps me. Yes. And when I mean the unknown source of power, I mean God. Let's say, for instance, a lot of people buy an expensive house and expensive car that's going to get them in debt and they can barely pay for it. But they look at it as a blessing that they were able to afford it. That is not a blessing. That is a choice. You understand what I'm saying? That's a choice. Say, for instance, like my Tesla. If I wanted to get a Tesla, and I was like, man, this thing costs $70,000 damn dollars. Man, I can't afford this daggone car. And that's the base model. And if you want to get it fully loaded, it's 90 grand almost. But this is a car where you don't have to take it to get an oil change, a lube job, and you have to put $3,000 worth of gas in it a year. So if you really think about it, you're saving $4,000 a year compared to a 7-year payment, which is $28,000 taken off of $90,000. You understand what I'm saying? You get what I'm getting at, right? So, but then you say, well, you still got to pay $90,000 minus the $28,000 because you're doing it over 5 or 7 year period, however long it takes to pay off the car, right? So you minus $30,000 from $9,000, which gets you $60,000, which is actually $20,000. $28,000, which is actually $62,000 for the price of the car. But then you find out that if you make your mailing address Colorado, like a P.O. box, Colorado gives you up to $30,000 off to buy a $90,000 car, which allows you to actually spend only $60,000 minus your $28,000. So now you have a $48,000 vehicle that's all electric. That's how you can afford a $90,000 car. Because power and privilege is this. Because I help people, I link up with people with information and knowledge that gives me information and knowledge that allows me to hook up with more people that can get me a blessing. Blessings are given from other individuals that believe in a higher power. That's what God does. People who have a heart, who have a mind, who want to live right, who want to do right, He makes sure that they connect. He makes sure that somewhere, you ever notice that you drove to the mall, you got in the mall, and you're walking around and randomly you meet the most important person in your life. Not a girlfriend, boyfriend, but a person that gets you information that you need. And he's like, wow, how did that happen? Man, that was good luck. No, that was God. Because you're driving 20 minutes away from a mall at 30 to 40 miles an hour. Speed and ranges may vary. Then you find in a parking lot for 5 to 15, 20 minutes. Then you're walking around the mall. You don't know when you're going to go into the food court or JCPenney or whatever these other stores are called. You walk through that entrance, you look at a couple of things in the on sale because it's 25 to 75% off. Peep this now. Now you're walking around the mall, you done checked out the jewelry, the Xbox, the tennis shoes for your kids, and you done went to the food court. And lo and behold, a question that's been in your head for the whole week, or for about 3 or 4 days, you bump into the person that has that answer for you. Simply because you spoke, or you said, hey, and it's like, wow, that's a nice shirt. It's like, wow, nice shirt. We're wearing the same damn shirt. Hi, I'm Tom. Hi, I'm Jay. Then we shake hands. Then we just so happen to parlay on a conversation in less than 5 minutes of something that he has to share with me that I need to receive. That's how God works. But you people who go out here and spend $300-something or $400-something on an Audi, Mercedes Benz, talking about, you know what I'm saying? God got me, help me get it. Because you got a job that you got college for, that's just your own choice of power. A blessing is something that you really ain't got to do nothing to get. You don't have to go to college to get a blessing. You don't have to work overtime to get a blessing. You don't have to slave yourself to get a blessing. A blessing is something you receive because you bless others. And what we have right now is a bunch of people, which I call Satan. I'm here to tell you, don't get me wrong, there's some good churches out there, there's some good pastors, there's some honorable preachers out there, male, female, white, black, and alike, that are doing the right thing, but they have no idea what their brethren are doing. But I want you to know something. That is a tax-free organization. And how does it allow itself to be tax-free? Because there's a powerful group of people running these churches that are taking these millions and billions of your, what you call, donations. Remember, Tommy asked for a donation, which is tax-free, a donation. You give up your daily, weekly donations. It ends up being a monthly, yearly donations, which ends up being a decade of donations. You have old folks that are in hospice. Listen to me now. If you ever go in a hospital and you work in hospice, it's a sad thing. You got old people that don't have grandkids to come and see them. Don't have sons and daughters that like them, much less want to give a damn if they live or die. Then you got jokers like volunteers like me that are in there talking to them. And it's so sad. And you know what they're doing? They're taking that $500,000 worth of life insurance and they're sending it to the reverend that they see on TV, hoping that he will send a prayer to them. And I want everybody to put their hands up right now. And I want you to know that God is watching. He sends you a televised prayer. And this prayer is supposed to heal you of your cancer, of your ragged-ass life insurance that won't cover your operation. Now, you say, oh, that's wrong. No, but I'm going to tell you how God would have fixed that. God would have fixed that without money. Because he don't need nothing that's made by man. You get what I'm saying? How God would have fixed that, he would allow you to walk and reach into somebody who eats all natural, who eats raw, who eats vegetables, fruit, and exercise, and gives you a small plan on maintaining your body. Telling you to leave a cigarette and the liquor alone, even though you're the type of person that says, well, you got to have something. Okay? But it's about how you die. How you die at the end of that essay that really sucks. Does the story end well or bad? Because your life is a book. And everybody wants a happy ending. And I don't think dying in a hospital alone without kids or grandkids of cancer is a happy ending. A lot of people that do some very horrible things end up dying alone. And that's a bad way to be. Knowing that within 2 to 3 weeks you're going to close your eyes. You didn't leave no children behind, no wife, no husband behind. You have no grandchildren that come to see you. You were just in that hospital looking at some fat, registered nurse with hair weave, long fingernails, and they ain't in there to help you at all. That's hell. So these people are giving up $300,000, $500,000 of their life insurance money, selling their house, mortgaging their home, and giving it to these preachers and these pastors, the ones that I call Satan. Yes, your preachers are about as close as you will get to what we call the devil. Politicians, preachers, what is called the elected officials. Because you know, in order to be an elected official, you have to elevate your status in life. And once you elevated your status in life, you have to go through a platform and talk with a bunch of people, and then you go through an election. And then once you go to that election, depending on how many people choose you because of your platform, you're elevated throughout the society to be at the high point. And once you're elevated, you're an elected official. Ella, hey! You better get it, man. Y'all better figure out what you read. A lot of y'all need to read the Bible. Trust me, I wouldn't be talking if I didn't read it more than once. Well, more than 3 times. A lot of y'all need to get in there and read the whole chapter of Leviticus. You really do. You really need to know what's in that so-called book that you say is the Word of God. That you're saying that the almighty, powerful God, who controls our weather, who controls our solar system, our galaxy that we haven't even seen yet, only in our dreams, that drops dreams and ideas in your head that allows you to act upon them because you're going to influence somebody else in that area. This is the way God works. God will drop an idea or image in your head that allows you to make an invention or something that revolutionizes the people in your area. But you thinking that he's giving you a blessing. No, what he's doing is causing a chain reaction. What he or she is doing is causing a chain reaction because some little child will see what you do, and that child's going to revolutionize the planet. But you were the spark that started the fire that created the flame. You understand that? So 9 times out of 10, don't think always that God is just blessing you. He's blessing you to bless others, to bless many more. It's always a domino effect and chain reaction. So when you're thinking that you're working late and you got your tax return and you out here hustling, getting this paper, you go, I got to eat. And you cop one of them Audis or them Mercedes, you say, you know what I'm saying, God is good, you know what I mean? No fool. It takes absolutely no money to get a blessing. All it takes is hard work, perseverance, projection, and focus. That's all it takes. And a good attitude, a good heart, and a good mind. You magnetize or you attract and gravitate to what you think. And if you're about being a solo individual, talking about, look what I got, look what I got, look what I got, instead of look what we can do, you're not going to see no blessings. You're just going to be a motherfucker paying a lot of money for a car and a house that you can't afford because you're just trying to be the Joneses. Being the Joneses is not a blessing. The next thing I'm going to talk about after this is campaign trail. And the campaign trail has to do with us as American African people. It has to do with what is happening to us as a whole. Last message I want to leave with you on this whole preaching thing. They said that Jesus was coming back, right? And if you look at Jesus, it's Christos, which means the oil. Which means the only time you sweat or you release oil is when you're in the sun. So when you're in the sun, you release oil. So Jesus means Christos, or Heru, which is hero. But the one thing that they did not tell you and explain to you, that he wasn't coming alone. He didn't say that it was just, they didn't say that it was just one person. It's going to be a group of people. There's people waking up right now. A lot of people. Keep this in mind, people. The one thing that Trayvon Martin and the people between him and Mike Brown did, they are your modern Jesus Christ. They may not have walked around and preached. They may not have set sermons like you want to perceive them to be. But one thing that they did do is their life was sacrificed to bring us together. And that may be a horrible way of looking at it. But if you can worship a fictional comic book character of a white man on your wall, in your house, or in the church, and you don't see Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown and every little boy and girl that gets shot out there, for you to realize what type of world you're living in as your Christos, your hero, your Jesus Christ, so that you give power and privilege to your children to keep them from getting shot, that might be a small form of insanity. Just think about it. I'm not saying we should put up pictures and posters of Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown, but look what these 15 individuals have done, because they were assassinated. You assassinate character, you assassinate people. And when people are assassinated, people get together. And they have a cause now. A lot of people are changing their ways because of the assassinations that have happened to these children. And just really think to yourself, man, what type of sacrifice, whether they wanted to or didn't want to, that these 15 to 12 individuals that are all over the TV and monopolized, I'm telling you, what they want y'all to do is go to war. We don't need to do that. We do need to arm ourselves, though. We do need to build broad food and shelter ourselves and start establishing our own construction capabilities. But we don't need to go to war. Because I'm telling you, you might as well look at the police force as the Roman Empire. That's what you might as well look at. You see them out there with their riot shields, don't you? And their little helmets on. Kind of changes the way you look at 300 Spartans, don't it? All I'm simply saying is, between Trayvon Martin, those other 12 children, or teens, and youth, and Mike Brown, have changed the way people look at the world we live in. It's changed the way we commit ourselves to certain things. We're waking up. People, when they say hey, Rule, Jesus is gonna come back, they didn't mean one person. I think they meant 1 million people or more. Don't fall for the okey doke. When they get out here and that little space satellite forms an image of Jesus for about 5 or 10 seconds, people whip out their cell phone, or somebody just happens to be there, films it, and it goes viral. And you start crying and thinking to yourself, wow, what is such a perfect hologram? You know, when they got movies like Avatar and all this other crap out here. You gotta think, man. Please think. The video got cut short because people be calling. I hate that crap. That's why I try to do it between the time when ain't nobody gonna call me. Tell people not to call my damn phone. You know, they need something. Just think about it, man. Every time a young black child dies, we seem to get together and we don't worry about our problems anymore. We don't think about the little interpersonal crap we got between each other. You need to arm yourself with knowledge. You need to arm yourself with protection. You need to arm yourself with sustainment. That is food and construction and shelter and clothing. You do not realize how powerful the American African dollar is until you put it together. And right now, the only place you put it is in a place that goes nowhere. It has no action or energy. You put it in your elected officials and your church. And you wonder why we getting slain all the time. You wonder why it's easy for them to come in our houses and break up our furniture. Talking about police search, we have a warrant. Why you don't know the law. Why there's nobody protecting your assets, but everybody else's assets are getting protected. Think about it, people. They got tanks now. They got grenade launching, armored personnel carrier, IED vehicles. Are you serious? For Americans that play Xbox and watch cartoons and football and basketball? Come on, man. Be serious.